just because you were born here doesn't mean you're from here. That's what Donald Trump is trying to tell you. He just signed an executive order ending birthright citizenship. So he basically saying that even because you were born in America, that does not make you an American citizen. If your parents were born somewhere else, you are a citizen of whatever country they were born in. But which parent? What if both your parents were born in two different countries? Which country do you become a citizen of? What if one parent was born here in America and the other was born somewhere else? How do you decide which parent's citizenship do you get to take? Well, if you're not the color of Donald Trump, it doesn't matter. He doesn't fucking care what other country you can claim. He's just telling you that you can't claim to be an American. This is another executive order meant to divide us. Another executive order meant to hurt us. This man is trying so hard to be a dictator. The fact that he keeps signing these executive orders tells you just how unpopular his policies are. Even though you're born on American soil, you are not an American citizen. Like, why would that be anywhere on the top 10, top 100 things that he should be worried about right now? Why would that be something that he has to just, I have to take care of this right now? We have such a problem. We have such a problem right now with so many people being born on American soil and becoming American citizens and receiving the rights and benefits of an American citizen. We can't have that. We can't have people born in America and being American. No, that's something I have to address. Ending birthright citizenship. Isn't that part of the Constitution? Why does this man, claiming to love the Constitution and uphold the Constitution, continue to do a whole bunch of stupid, evil things? Because that's all it is. It's pure evil. Continue to do a whole bunch of pure evil things that go against the very Constitution that he says he upholds. Wait, he said he doesn't know if as president he's responsible for upholding the Constitution. I guess we know that he doesn't think he has to.
Black Americans, immigration, and citizenship. I've seen some very interesting takes and comments. One of them being people facetiously saying, oh, where are they going to deport me back to? Mississippi? Alabama? An actual video that I saw that was very alarming was someone saying, oh, they wanted us here. Excuse me? The only want plus here plus us equals to be used as chattel. It was as a result of resistance, us learning how to read, although that was illegal and could cost you your life, us pushing back, us fleeing oppression, that we were able to get rights, something they have never wanted for Black Americans, which is why the wealth gap is so huge, which is why we populate prisons over every demographic. No, you may not be deported to Alabama, but you may be Khalif Browder. Some of us couldn't even keep grandma's house, and y'all are going to convince me that you were able to still keep your grandfather's birth certificate? Because that's what they're going after, the proof that your ancestors were actually born on this soil.
Why didn't nobody tell me that birthright citizenship was meant for the babies of slaves? On the basis of that logic, we got to follow what Trump says, y'all. A lot of things have changed. If you don't have a musket, can't tell me about the Second Amendment. Baby, if you're not pouring in, and I mean pouring it in, shoving that stick down and ready to shoot, so no more blickies, the Glocks, you're going to have to put them down. Yeah, sorry about that, folks, but Trump daddy said it's no more. Birthright was meant for slaves, for babies of slaves. So I'm sorry. We really got to start taking this stuff to heart now, because, he knows so much about how this country was founded and everything. And honestly, at this point, we need to re-roll out the entire Constitution. Like, let's light this candle. Let's talk about the amendment number 8. We're supposed to be protected from cruel and unusual punishment, but every time Orange Guy gets on the screen, I'm feeling very cruel and punished.
30 days from now, birthright citizenship is ending in 20 states. He's about to become a dictator. So I want to think again to the MAGA who voted for him. Now we all got a problem because now we all deportable. Because birthright citizenship clearly means anybody born in the U.S. is not a citizen anymore. So everybody got a problem. So everybody's deportable. And that's going to create a huge, huge issue in this country if we all don't say something. Trump is becoming a dictator and becoming a tyrant in the world. The people that we used to go to war against, World War I, World War II, now we are becoming those types. And we're hurting our own government, our own president is hurting our own people. The same guy who says we never do anything for America, that wants to make America great again.
And we have another update on birthright citizenship. As a reminder, this morning the Supreme Court ruled that federal courts cannot issue nationwide injunction unless that lawsuit is a certified class action. So CASA, one of the immigrant organizations and plaintiffs in this case, has gone ahead and refiled its lawsuit as a class action case. You know, they're just following the rule. If the lower courts approve this class, it would have a similar effect to a nationwide injunction, meaning Trump's executive order on birthright citizenship will then be blocked.
Listen, I need all y'all to listen up. Starting July 27th, states can start denying citizenship to babies or anyone whose parent isn't either a citizen or a green card holder. So I've heard. Let's dive into it. So from what I am hearing, Trump's executive order to ban birthright citizenship just got the green light. Now, 3 things this executive order is trying to do. 1, redefine the 14th Amendment of who gets citizenship under birthrights. 2, it says babies born in the U.S. won't automatically be U.S. citizens if their parent does not hold a green card or have U.S. citizenship. So that means a baby can get sent to a country it's never been to, or you may be able to get sent to a country you've never been to if your parents does not have citizenship or a green card. Now, I'm not saying that as soon as July 27th hit, they're going to go find everybody whose parent wasn't a U.S. citizen or have a green card and just kick y'all out. I'm not saying that. And this is still being fought in court, because the 14th Amendment does clearly state if you are born in the U.S. or naturalized in the U.S., then you are a U.S. citizen. But I'm just letting you know from here on out, if your parents does not have a green card, you will not be considered a U.S. citizen.
The unfortunate news that Trump has won. He has gotten what he wants. Birthright citizenship has completely changed for how we know it, and it's only going to get worse. In the next 30 days, being born in America alone is not going to be enough for you to be considered an American citizen, nor is it going to be enough for you to be protected under the Constitution, meaning both your parents would have to be American citizens as well, or at the very least have a green card. You are now no longer able to give birth to a child and have that child automatically have American citizenship. Now, of course, we know this goes directly against the 14th Amendment. We don't have to go into that. But like I've said before, this is a terrifying foreshadowing to the future of America, because if this constitutional right can be stripped away within the first 6 months of this man being in office, what do you think the next 4 years is going to entail, realistically? You guys looked at people like me that said that this man is going to try and run for the 3rd term. You guys looked at us and said that we were crazy, we were being hyperbolic. We were fear-mongering. Meanwhile, this man is literally making the rules as he goes along, and he's getting away with it. If a civil war doesn't break out within America within the next 5 years, I'll be very surprised, because the amount of civil rights have been stripping away from people day in, day out is actually alarming for nobody to do anything about it.
Crashing out over today's SCOTUS decision on birthright citizenship, then you are not paying attention. CASA versus Trump case is challenging the Trump administration's executive order to limit birthright citizenship to the children of undocumented parents here in the States. What happened today was that the Supreme Court granted a partial stay in that case. What does that mean? basically means that it limits legal protections while this case continues in the lower court. And by legal protections, I mean the nationwide injunction that was put in place while this case is being litigated. That nationwide injunction is so important because it protects us nationwide. It means that while this case is being litigated, the federal government cannot enforce this policy, not just for the parties in the lawsuit, but nationwide, all of us. The Supreme Court essentially said, no, we're not going to allow that. This means that in 30 days, the Trump administration can go ahead and start beginning to enforce this policy wherever they see fit, while this case is still being decided. And so today's ruling was not about whether or not this executive order is constitutional. That will be decided way, way later. The ruling today did not overturn birthright citizenship. And again, it does not say that this executive order is legal because that's still being debated in the court. Again, it does not apply to anyone yet. But most importantly, what this does do, it clears the way for our federal government to start enforcing this policy more broadly while this case is still being decided. Again, could some states enforce this if they choose to in 30 days? It's up in the air. What happens next? The case goes back to the lower courts where it will continue to be evaluated to see if the executive order is constitutional. SCOTUS could eventually revisit the case to decide if birthright citizenship can be legally restricted via executive action. This leaves countless families in this limbo of legal uncertainty and just more vulnerable. This leads to them facing challenges in trying to prove their own children's citizenship. All to say that if you're born in the US, you should be a citizen, but today's Supreme Court ruling has made that a lot more uncertain.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but if you're undocumented or even here on a visa, this Supreme Court decision could impact your children, your future, and yes, our rights. And it starts with babies born in 2025. Trump's executive order trying to end automatic citizenship is on the table, and the Supreme Court just made it easier for this executive order to move forward. I'm going to break this down for you. Trump signed an executive order back in January that stopped birthright citizenship for babies born in the U.S. to undocumented immigrants or people on temporary visas. The Constitution says all people born on U.S. soil are citizens, but this order says not anymore, at least not if your parents aren't permanent residents or citizens. This would apply to babies born in 2025. Now, the Supreme Court just ruled that lower courts can't block this order nationwide. They can only protect the people in the direct lawsuit, and that means that it could still go into effect in parts of the country. Right now, there is a 30-day pause on the enforcement of this executive order, but after that, it's open season unless more legal action stops this. This isn't just about newborns. If this goes forward, it could open the door to creating a system where the president can deny certain rights with narrow remedies challenging the overstepping of presidential authority. This ruling has broad implications on all of us who are seeking the protection of our rights under the Constitution. So stay informed and make sure that you understand your rights and what needs to be protected, because right now that Supreme Court order is saying that each person needs to file a lawsuit if they don't want their citizenship or their baby's citizenship to be stripped.